Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is TamezTech and welcome to a brand new video. Today we're going to be checking out a few more of the teams that we ran during the Go Battle weekend. Honestly, a lot of these teams I really thought they were going to perform a lot better than they did, but man, this is when the algorithm allegations come through, bro. So a lot of the battles I didn't add just because of how boring and disastrous they were. But man, did we get RPS quite a bit. I'm still hoping the video can be decently entertaining. I did have quite a few wins as well with a lot of these teams. So let's go ahead and check out these teams and see what we can do. So the first team, we got Pangoro, Corv, Dusclops. Honestly, I don't think it's too bad of a team at all. But alignment can be really difficult to achieve with a team like this. So let's check out these battles and see the unfortunate turn of events that we are cursed with. So on the first lead we have for Alligator, and honestly this is a pretty decent lead. We resist the fast move pressure, and we might not survive a Hydro Cannon very comfortably, but I mean, we can full send close combats here unless they catch on a freaking Clodsire. So that's definitely not great. I'm going to rebank some energy here, pivot into my Dusclops here, just because I know that Corviknight would probably be a better answer here, but Dusclops is just not great into for Alligator, that I'd rather just kind of burn it here if I can. Unfortunately, I don't have non-Shadow Dusclops, so I definitely don't survive to Earthquakes here, which is pretty unfortunate. I instantly send the Shadow Punch, and of course my opponent is going to catch that again. People were just dancing on me today, bro. I do not know what's going on. My opponent is going to throw the Hydro Cannon a little bit early there. I guess maybe they just don't know their counts too well. I'm going to bring back in the Pangoro here, and I'm going to cap tie on this Night Slash. I do have the back-to-back now, but if they do want to shield, then they definitely can. Unfortunately, that Clodsire is still alive and well in the back, so I'm going to overfarm again, and my opponent not quite catching yet, but I do have the back-to-back, so they could catch after shielding this move, and they do, of course. So definitely not great for us. At this point, I should be pivoting instantly into Corviknight if that didn't knock out, but it does. So hopefully one shield Pangoro and Corviknight can clean up this game. For Alligator comes back in to throw their move just to claim the shield, but I should get a full farm down here, and I guess whatever they had in the back, I mean, all that dancing around and for what, bro? I don't get it. I mean, it's definitely the place they kind of had to make, but they never really threatened the Pangoro, so I don't know, dude. Very confusing game plan. We see an amazing lead in the next match, Corsola, but honestly, this isn't even terrible for Corsola. A Nightshade is going to do a pretty decent amount of damage, probably put us into Astonish downrange, and two Night Slashes don't really knock out completely here, so definitely not a great matchup for Pangoro. I'm going to farm up to the back-to-back Night Slashes here, and look at that. I mean, two don't knock out. I have to go for a third if I want to either claim a shield or a knockout here. Corsola does get knocked out. I don't even have that much energy. I'm going to full send the close combat here and just pivot into my own Corv probably. Maybe try and make a catch. We do try and make a catch. It does not work out, but that is okay. We did claim a shield with the close combat, which is kind of unfortunate. I was really hoping we could land that damage because Corviknight is kind of a problem for our Dusclops in the back. And my opponent brings in Cradley, and this is just not looking great. Corviknight was kind of my only answer to their Corviknight once my Pangoro was down shields and down health. So this is really not looking ideal here. And that's what I mean by Corsola just being not an amazing matchup into Pangoro. It's like, it's really not that bad. You could just win the zeros there pretty easily. Regardless though, we do bring in Dusclops into this Cradley. Cradley does throw a lot of energy here. I would have thought they would pivot into Corviknight a lot sooner, but they didn't. So this is fine. I can get a lot of energy off into this Pokemon, but unfortunately, as you guys can see, I'm running out of HP kind of everywhere here. This is looking pretty dire. I do have a payback loaded on my Corviknight. I'm hoping that they let this go, but my opponent does shield that, and that comes with a heavy price. They get a full Sand Attack farm down here. I don't even throw the Air Cutter. Maybe I should have. Maybe that would have put them into Night Size range, but unfortunately, This game is just not meant to be. I think Pangoro is my only win con. My opponent actually throws energy here, which is definitely a misplay from them. But at this point, I have to get to back-to-back Night Slashes, or probably even Night Slash plus close combat. My opponent brings in Cradily, which is extremely, extremely stupid. Yeah, my win con there was to try and get a farm down. So, oh man, that was pretty close, dude, but unfortunately not close enough. All right, amazing lead in the next match. We see Wigglytuff, and this thing completely destroys our entire team. My opponent brings in Diggersby, which is definitely the move. Diggersby has a pretty decent matchup to Corviknight with Fire Punch, and of course it has a pretty terrible matchup into Pangoro, so you are definitely trying to burn it here if you can. It looks like they are going to need 3 Fire Punches to knock us out, but we are going to need 2 Paybacks and an Air Cutter to knock them out, or maybe even 3 Paybacks at that. So this is just a bad matchup no matter what. I'm going to bring in Pangoro here, and I should be able to claim a shield with this close combat here. But like I said, this game is just looking really dire. My opponent actually lets that go, which is pretty good for me. I bring in Corviknight into the Wigglytuff. Air Cutter should not knock out here, and they should get a Swift off. Oh, it actually does knock out. Okay, so this is looking a little bit better. Opponent brings in Diggersby here, and I don't feel like shielding this. But 2 shield Dusclops, I don't think is going to be enough for whatever they have in the back, plus this Diggersby. I'm going to overfarm a bunch of energy here, but I mean, you guys read the title of the video. This is us getting RPS, so I am feeling like there's probably a very, very bad Pokemon for us in the back. Diggersby is just staying in still. They are playing this out to the bitter end. I did shield a Scorching Sands earlier just in case, but I mean, look at this. Why do people do this? I don't get it. Just show me the Greninja, bro. I'll top left, I promise. I really don't have play into Greninja. You have 2 shields, a full HP Greninja, half a Diggersby. Like, it's not gonna happen, buddy. But regardless, I am playing this out just to toy with them more. I mean, if they think they can waste my time, I can waste time too, buddy. So I'm doing my dividends here. But yeah, I really don't know why people do that kind of stuff. Regardless, this team, I was really excited for it, but unfortunately it did not work out. On to the next team of the day. We have Dragonair, Corviknight once again, and Diggersby in the back. First lead of the day, we see a Furret, which is not too bad for us. We can throw these Aqua Tails practically instantly. It looks like we kind of lagged a turn there. The move wasn't thrown instantly, so we actually gave a sneak to the Furret. Thankfully, it looks like we still make a catch on the Corviknight. This Swift is not going to do a lot of damage, and we do get a few sand attacks at start. Furret is staying in a lot, and I mean, I really don't mind this. I'm not really going to throw an Air Cutter into this Furret to just get rid of it, and these Swifts are not doing as much. My opponent brings in a Wigglytuff, and now I am a little bit concerned, because if they bring in Wigglytuff here instead of saving it for my Dragonair, I can only wonder what type of destruction lies ahead for my Dragonair. Thankfully though, thanks to all of that energy that they let us farm up on the Furret, we can get to the triple Air Cutter here, which definitely does quite a bit of damage. They want to get rid of this Corviknight pretty damn bad, and that is okay by me. I can get a decent farm down with Diggersby here, and I'm hoping that we have some play into the back. It is Torterra in the back, so I don't know, man. I mean, Torterra is definitely a worse matchup into Corviknight than Wigglytuff, but man, what is this team? Like, this team is so stupid. I don't get it. I can definitely say that most of the teams during Go Battle Day were completely stupid. I mean, they made no sense whatsoever. We call a Sand Tomb bait because Torterra users are sick in the brains. And we should still survive a Sand Tomb from here too. This opponent is just addicted to Sand Tombing. Realistically, I should have thrown Wrap here because I'm only going to get to 1 Aqua Tail, unfortunately. So yeah, a bit of a misplay there, because if we Wrap, maybe we actually get a farm down there. Regardless, Diggersby should be able to take home the win here. I'm going to throw this Fire Punch to claim a shield or a knockout. And since I still have a shield, Furret can't do much against us. So yeah, that's going to be a GG. on to the next game here. We got Mighty Ina in the lead, and this is not great. We know that these teams are usually very RPS, so I overfarm a little bit here. Not sure why. I could have just thrown the Aqua Tail instantly. It's not like a Mighty Ina is ever going to pivot out of this matchup, but maybe I can get 2 shields down, and hopefully Diggersby can put in some work in the back. So I'm just going to throw this Aqua Tail practically instantly, probably pivot into my Corviknight, and try to get some work done here. So here comes Corviknight. We're probably going to get hit by a crunch. I doubt my opponent is just going to Poison Fang. That would be extremely stupid. Oh, okay. There's a Poison Fang. I guess they do have a Steelix, so the play makes a little bit of sense, but regardless, that I don't know, this type of play style is just so disturbing to me. We should almost be able to get to a payback, but unfortunately we don't get there, so we're just gonna have to settle for this Air Cutter. I guess at the moment I should have realized I could have just gone Air Cutter and then payback here, but regardless, this should be a pretty decent farm down for Diggersby here. We have a 2 quick attack head start. My opponent is going for these Psychic Fangs like it's gonna do much. I guess Psychic Fangs plus Crunch does put us close to the half HP range. Wigglytuff comes in, which is definitely not ideal. We did get debuffed with that Psychic Fangs. I'm not sure if we got debuffed with the Crunch there, but I can't really pivot out of this matchup because Wigglytuff is just going to try and debuff us with an Icy Wind, right? So I kind of have to stay in here. I don't want to give it more farm with the Dragonair here. I'm going to pivot out just to reset the debuff now that they've thrown energy. But unfortunately, I just cannot outpace. The Mighty Ina also has a lot of HP left, and I needed probably 2 Scorching Sands, one for the Wigglytuff, one for the Mighty Ina, but I don't know. It was just a tough game to win. I mean, it's just one of those brain dead teams, right? It's Mighty Ina plus 2 garbage Pokemon in the back that just have very favorable matchups or very terrible matchups. Anyways, in the next lead, we have a favorable lead, but our opponent pivots into Furret. We make a catch on Corviknight, which is definitely really decent. The main problem with Furret into Corviknight is the Sucker Punches, of course. So you usually want to go Trailblaze as soon as you can, and then go for the Double Swift, and that should pick up the knockout after the Sucker Punches. But my opponent is just going straight Swift here, which means that I should probably be able to get a Sand Attack down. I honestly cut it a little bit close here. My opponent brings in Charge-a-Bug, and I don't react in time. I probably should have banked this Air Cutter. It makes no use of me to bring this here. And I kind of think a little bit here. I think, do I really want to bring my Diggersby here without knowing what's in the back, right? So I bring in Dragonair. I do have a lot of energy on this Dragonair, so I can actually outpace to the double Aqua Tail before they get a single X-Scissor off. And I'm hoping I can get a full farm down here. They do have the back-to-back right now, but Dragon Breath should register before. So my opponent notices that, and they bring in K-Whack. And I guess, thinking back on it now, I really should have brought in Diggersby into the Charge-a-Bug, because I wouldn't have had to shield anything, and I would have had a 2-shield Dragonair with a bunch of energy ready for this K-Whack. Regardless, though, we are going to be able to take this win. K-Whack can't do much into this Diggersby. So GG's to our opponent there. All right, now we see K-Whack in the lead, but without the energy advantage, this is definitely not an ideal matchup. Thankfully, we can claim shields sooner, so hopefully we can claim some shields here. Maybe we can pivot out, just avoid putting a shield up ourselves. And yeah, here's the catch. We make the catch right before we get to the second Aqua Tail, predicting our opponent was going to throw right then. We bring in Corviknight. Usually Marowaks love farming up against Corviknight. My opponent actually throws a move here, and I don't mind shielding a Rock Slide. They are staying in. They bring in a Bastiodon, which is definitely a little spooky. I can only wonder what's in the back. But they did throw 2 charge moves. Keep that in mind. So I can technically just keep farming up a bunch with Corviknight here. My opponent makes a masterful play here. Considering how brain dead their team is, they make a really good play. They throw their charge attack right before I can swap out. That burns the clock so much for them that it means that I can only land 1 Scorching Sands before they can swap out. I can't even farm too much with Diggersby. My opponent actually survives the Scorching super closely, but that's totally fine. I feel like if this is the Marowak Basti Fortress team, we still have quite a lot of play. So I'm hoping that could be the one. especially since my opponent brings in Marowak here. I do lose Cacti here, so there's no point in me throwing immediately. I'm gonna throw this I'm gonna bank the Fire Punch and combo with Corviknight here, and we are just dancing. My opponent brings in Bastiodon for some strange reason, and I'm guessing it might have been Fortress in the back, because we definitely would have taken that game. Regardless, that was the last game for that team, and now we're on to the last team. We have Cradily lead, Pidgeot in the safe swap, and Dusclops in the back, Shadow Dusclops. Honestly, I really like Shadow Dusclops, but unfortunately, in most of these battles, it was just not putting in the work I hoped for. I definitely would have just used Corsola instead. Regardless, we bring in Pidgeot. My opponent stays in with the Marowak. Of course, I mean, these Marowak players are kind of crazy, right? I should be able to still survive a Rock Slide from here, and I could still do one Gust and then the Air Cutter here. This should pick up the knockout thanks to that extra Gust damage we just got. So my opponent does shield. I'm going to pivot out into my Dusclops here, and in comes a Wigglytuff. Again, extremely original team planning by our opponent here. As you can see, we are seeing a lot of the same teams. A lot of people running Marowak, a lot of people running Wigglytuff. It's just very monotone behavior lately. Regardless, we actually Cacti to the Ice Punch, which isn't ideal, but we got there at the same time, so there's not a lot we can do to avoid that. It looks like I could bank some energy here, which I will do. I will have to shield an Icy Wind, but unfortunately, I mean, you guys saw, right? I mean, this is the very original cool team. There is a Basti in the back, a Kwak in the front, and a Wiggly in the middle. Zero answers to Corviknight whatsoever all across the team. So yeah, if you are scared of Marowak, Basti, Wiggly, just run Corviknight. Just run Corviknight. This will do it for you. Unfortunately for us, it looks like 3 Grass Knots will barely not take the knockout here. Maybe I should have Rock Tomb before. I actually make a CMP Sack Swap here, which is pretty ideal for us. Unless my opponent actually waited a turn. No, yeah, we actually get the CMP Sack Swap. And I just Ice Punch here because I'm kind of just BMing. I mean, there's no way to win this game, unfortunately. I'm waiting down my clock, but there's really not much I can do anymore. I have no fast move pressure. I bring in Pidgeot, predicting my opponent to instantly swap, which is very ideal. But unfortunately, they don't throw a move. So, yeah, we definitely tried our best there. We got pretty close to a win, actually, just playing mind games with our opponent. But their singular brain cell was able to pull through for them. Regardless, we have a decent lead in the next match. I know in the last video I was talking about how Shadow Cradily is a little bit cope against Altaria. My opponent, though, they make a masterful catch into their Diggersby, but I mean, is this even a good catch? I don't mind staying in here. My Dusclops is pretty decent into that Altaria, and thanks to the acid damage that they tanked, an Ice Punch should be able to fully knock out. So I'm gonna land a Grass Knot here. After landing the Rock Tomb, these Fire Punches are going to do nothing, so I can just very comfortably bring in Pidgeot here. I should be able to get a full farm down. They might just like bank their Diggersby here, but it's at practically 0 HP. I can comfortably tank this Sky Attack here, full send the Brave Bird. I send the Brave Bird immediately just to avoid giving them more farm, because if I over farm and just gust a bunch, there's no point in that. Thankfully though, burning the clock is ideal for us because we can bring in Cradily right away, and we should be able to get a full acid farm down. We have been dancing around a lot this game, so the clocks are pretty severely misaligned here. Thankfully, my opponent is waiting down their clock quite a bit here, which hopefully is going to sync back our clocks. They bring back in Diggersby. I shouldn't get knocked out by anything here, and I should be able to get double Rock Tomb into the back line, just permanently debuffing both of them. It is Caesar in the back, which is definitely a very scary Pokemon to see, but thankfully, since our opponent was not able to recover alignment, which again, I really don't know why they did that. Honestly, they really didn't need alignment that much. If they just saved Caesar with 2 shields without having to give me an entire farm down on Cradily and get double Rock Tomb, I think they would have been fine. But thankfully, Dusclops should be able to take this win pretty comfortably here. Two hexes after the Shadow Punch should take the knockout, and that's going to be a GG. On to the next battle here, we have Cradily into Stunfisk, a very, very decent lead for us. Of course, our opponent is going to pivot out. They bring in Togekiss. I bring in Pidgeot, and this is definitely not ideal. I really should have brought in Dusclops here. I feel like Dusclops would have been the ideal scenario, especially because Aura Sphere is just so strong here. I would have been forcing them to throw Psyshocks, but I just don't know the matchups very well. Thankfully, we do get an Air Cutter boost here, which means that we can guarantee switch advantage here. And I really don't mind if they bring in Ufisk here. I mean, Brave Bird is still going to cook pretty hard here, and it is a boosted Brave Bird. So you know what? I'm going to bank the Brave Bird. My opponent, for some reason, throws energy into Cradily here, and Dusclops is still going to do decent into that Pidgeot. I mean, into that Stunfisk. So look what they have in the back. They bring in a freaking Fearow into our Cradily. We are loaded with energy. We should still survive a Drill Peck here, so I do not mind letting this go whatsoever. And we're gonna get a second Rock Tomb off, so this is playing out pretty decent for us. At this point, I think I can just snipe this Fearow with my Brave Bird on Pidgeot. And again, we are debuffing our defense quite a lot here, so it's not like we're giving that Ufisk too much energy here. We just give them 2 Thunder Shocks, and we have a Dusclops with a shield advantage in the back. 2 Ice Punches should come close to doing it. Our opponent throws on alignment for no reason whatsoever, giving us an entire Hex, and this just seals the deal. I mean, there's really no play for our opponent anymore. They're still throwing their moves, but trainer, this is just not the way. It's not going to work out. We throw the first Ice Punch. Let's just gauge how much damage this does, and yeah, the next Ice Punch is going to cook, so there's no reason to throw on good timing anymore. We just take the win here, save our shields for next game, and that's going to be a good game. And that is going to be the end of the video. I sure hope you guys enjoyed it. Honestly, this last team did a lot more decent than the others. I was really hoping Pangoro could cook, but unfortunately, the Go Battle League did not let it cook. Regardless though, once again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please follow me on all my social media. Leave a comment down below on what you would like to see next, and maybe leave a like on the video. Maybe give me a subscribe. I don't know. Any of those things would be great. Regardless, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.